Hi folks, I've got something that I consider to be very important to say in this blog today. According to the TV news that I've been watching recently, a primary school near to where I live in Birmingham, I don't live in Birmingham but it's close to where I live anyway, and the school is in Birmingham, they called a parents meeting of some description. I'm not too clear what it was about. But the issue was raised about plans to teach the primary students, that's the little children, about sexual matters, including same-sex relationships. The parents of the meeting, so strongly objected and immediately protested on the grounds that their children were too young to be taught such matters. According to the news channel, a local councillor, speaking out about the meeting that had been had at the school, branded the parents as being homophobic and said something to the effect that the parents have no right to pick and choose what their children are taught, or something to that effect. Stop and think about this, folks. Parents object to a sensitive subject such as sex, same-sex relationships, being taught to their primary school aged children, and they're accused of being homophobic and they've got no rights. Goodness me, I'm laughing but it's not funny. As I understand it, a phobia is an irrational fear. Well, it seems to me that these parents have a very rational concern for their children, not an irrational fear. And don't parents have the right to being concerned for their children? And don't they have any say in what is being taught to their children at school? Well, apparently not, according to certain government figures. It seems to me that politicians of the main parties are going too far in their effort to control us. But then we all know this anyway, don't we? The general public know this. Could there be any similarity between all this, what's happening today, and what happened in Nazi Germany during the 1930s? I think there's a strong similarity somewhere. I've just had an email that claims that girls at an Orthodox Jewish school somewhere in this country was visited by Ofsted and badgered by Ofsted inspectors about their views on traditional marriage. The girls claimed that they were bullied and traumatised by Ofsted. Supposing that was your daughter, how would you feel about it if that happened to your daughter? I believe 3 other schools have had such visits recently. Just the same. You can read about what I've just said about the Ofsted visits. If you go into the World Events tab on this site and click on UK, you'll find a report on there. I'm telling you folks, something really sinister is happening in this once democratic country, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. Is there anything we can do about it? Yes, I believe there is. You know, we are the voters, we have power. You know, I'll just tell you briefly, I was sitting in a cafe and I got talking with a man at the table next to me. And he started moaning. He told me he was a Christian, a churchman, and he then started moaning about same-sex marriage being introduced into this country in such a non-democratic way. And he must have gone on 15-20 minutes. I suddenly turned to him and I said to him, "Can you tell me who would you vote for?" And he said, "But of course," he said, "I vote Conservative, I always have done." And I said, "Well, I can't understand. You've just been going on about same-sex marriage and the way it was introduced into this country, but you vote for the people who brought it in. I can't understand you." And he looked very quizzical for a moment and he said, "You're right, you know. I'm voting for the people who brought it in." You know, folks, we must seriously consider who we vote for. Our problem in this country is that it's our loyalty to a party instead of being loyal to the country. I was born on the South Yorkshire coalfields, so what did that make me for the early part of my life? My vote of loyalty was towards the Labour Party, obviously. I was brought up on the South Yorkshire coalfields. But as I got older, I didn't like what they were standing for, and I won't vote for them anymore. I'm voting for the country, and whatever party is good for the country. I'll let you decide who that may be right now. It's up to us, folks. We need to be very discerning when we vote. Forget the party, think of the country, or we will find ourselves living in a dictatorship if we're not already in one. And I know many people that think we are. Don't think it can't happen here. It can. Think how different our country has already become in the last 20 or 30 years. I remember the time when we could disagree with someone in this country, disagree with their views, without being accused of being phobic or racist. On the video and audio page on this site, you will find an audio sermon by Dr. Lawrence White. It's about the 16th video down the page. I think everyone should listen to this video, the talk on this video. There's no video, it's just a talk. It's an MP3 put out as a video. But everybody should listen to this and take very serious notice of it. Think of the future, not just the present. Those of us who believe in the Bible already know that some serious stuff is about to happen in this world. And already we can see it happening. Islamic terrorism is getting worse, but the West has no real answer to it. Nor do we have any leadership against it, really. This government seems to think that the answer to the Islamic radicalisation of children in schools, otherwise called the Trojan horse, is simply to radicalise the kids instead on sexual matters. What a joke. Folks, it's time we fought back against these politicians. And I'm not talking about guns or bombs, I'm talking about votes. Use our votes wisely. Remember what happened in Rotherham and several other places to those kids and no one took any notice? Do we really want our primary school children taught interactive sex lessons in school? Yes, I said interactive sex lessons. Read about it, you can study, you'll find plenty on this site about it. Do we really trust government people to decide what kind of morality our kids should be taught? I don't think so. Do you? Our record of child abuse in this country is horrific. It's time that parents and grandparents, yes, I'm a grandparent, took a stand to protect our kids before it's too late. Think about this, folks, over the next week. God bless you all. I hope you enjoy the website. Bye for now.